our meeting to order. We appreciate all of you that are here this morning. We thank you for your presence. We have a fairly brief agenda this morning, but we will expedite as quickly as possible. If you will, stand with us and we will have our invocation. Then Commissioner Kuykendall will lead us in our pledge. Our merciful Heavenly Father, we approach thy throne of grace this day, understanding that you know all things and art able to do above and beyond that which we ask of thee. And in a special way, we ask this day, Lord, that you would bless all those that grace has made it our duty to pray for. Many have said, would you pray, remember me? We would ask you to bless our many and varied communities, bless the citizens of our county and our great state, bless the leaders of our nation, and all those in places of authority. We thank you for these men that sit around this table, their dedication to public service, and we ask a continued blessing, if it can be in accordance with thy righteous and holy will. We'd also ask, Lord, that you would restrain the wicked, that you would, by thy mighty power, turn the minds of those who would seek to destroy us and hurt us. And we would pray, Lord, that you would overrule that which they intend and bring glory to thyself. But in the midst of all of that, we pause in our busy lives to say, thy will be done. And in a wonderful way, we expect that precious promise to be fulfilled. Continue with us this day. Continue to bless us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Please place the flag. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Again, we thank you for being here this morning. We have two commissioners that are absent this morning. We knew Mr. Jackson wouldn't be here this morning, but Mr. Wooden had a call with his mother, who is ill, and they're in Birmingham as we speak now. So we appreciate their work around the table, but they, due to circumstances outside of their own control, could not be here today. But we appreciate Mr. Kuykendall and Mr. Westbrook that are here today, and we handle the business that's on our agenda. First item of business to approve our minutes as you receive them in written format. Is there any changes that need to be made? If not, do I hear a motion that we accept them as you receive them?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion second in discussion. Minutes favored, leave it on saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Road Department maintenance update, Mr. Broyles.
Good morning. I'll be real brief this morning. Don't really have a lot of things new to update you on. We're still in the pothole patching business as usual. I think it's something we'll always be doing quite a bit of, but we're continuing on with that. We are hauling chert. We have been the last few days. We did a bridge replacement last week out on Lookout Mountain. We had a little one-lane wooden bridge that we took out and put some pipe in with it. We completed it on Thursday. I have a crew working up in the Ider area this morning. One of the roads that we had set up to be reclaimed in District 1, while we were doing some prep work on it, we found a large diameter pipe that the bottom was rotted out of it and was causing the road to begin to undermine and cave off. So have a crew up there this morning starting on it, and hopefully we'll have that road open back up by tomorrow afternoon. We're still struggling with our first round on our herbicide application. It's either wind or rain, seems like, and we've had quite a bit of equipment trouble with our truck. It's been broke down a couple of times. We've had to work on it, but I think we've had a good day yesterday with it, and hopefully they'll have another good day, and maybe we can get on around. He's making pretty good progress for the obstacles that they've had to overcome, but it's a little slower than we had hoped that it would be. Our paving contractor, Mr. Watts, came in yesterday down in District 2 and resurfaced a couple of roads and did a double surface treatment on a couple of them. He liked the seal treatment on one of the roads. He said he would be back in probably toward the end of next week, and that's really, I think, depending on the weather. He has some work in South Alabama. I think if it probably starts raining him out down there, he'll probably come back home and possibly can get back on some of our. He is really struggling. He's having trouble finding material. The people that's been supplying him with rock are not keeping up with the demand that he has for it, so he's having to find new vendors to buy rock from, and he told me he was really struggling with that this time, being able to get the material stockpiled to use. But hopefully he'll get something worked out on that and be able to get back in and maybe finish most of ours up. These roads we're going to be resurfacing in District 1 actually won't be ready, and probably be toward the end of the summer before they'll actually be ready for surface treatments to be done on those. But hopefully he can get everything else but that done fairly quickly. So that's about all I have for you in way of an update.
Thank you, Mr. Broyles. Any questions concerning the maintenance report?
I do have a personnel item. I had failed to respond to Matt's email asking for agenda items, and as you know, we posted a position at the last meeting, and I'd like to go ahead and fill that position today. I'd like to recommend Clay Varner to fill that position.
Any questions concerning the recommendation? If not, do I hear a motion we honor his request?
So moved.
Your second? Second. Motion second, any discussion? If any in favor, let me know by saying aye. Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you.
That's all I have for you.
This software on here was, do we want, on the road department?
Yeah, Heath, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Okay. All right. Tom.
Morning, guys. The road department management software is severely outdated. Me and Tom were going over some things, and the best we can recollect, this was put in place mid-90s. Yeah, early to mid-90s. It's starting to run with some issues, getting some errors on reports, things like that. So we've been looking at some different software providers. Tom and Ben both have sat through numerous software demonstrations. So I appreciate those guys being flexible enough to sit through those. I know those are not the most interesting things. But we've found a vendor that everybody likes. They're low bidder actually on the project, and they're out of Montgomery. They provide the software, the road department software, for 33 of the 67 counties in Alabama right now currently. So the platform that they're using is widely used and accepted throughout the other counties. Ben also is going to be able to interface with this new software, which currently he cannot. So that'll give a lot of flexibility to Ben as he can generate his own reports, even go back and pull a full history of a particular road, find out what all's been done to it, things of that nature. So we would like to bring this before you and put that in the form of a motion that we proceed with updating this software.
Gentlemen, you have, I think, all the information in there. Could you briefly give us the cost of that?
Yes, the base system itself is going to be $650 a month. And then we need one additional add-on with that, and that's going to be for the equipment rental rates, and that's going to be $525 a year for that one add-on that we'll need with that.
Thank you. Any question? You can, yes, sir.
Are those numbers fixed numbers?
Yes,
I mean, the contract states flatly that these are fixed numbers.
that is correct.
They won't vacillate based on usage or whatever.
No, it's an unlimited number of users. So currently we'll have Karen at the road department and Ben also on it. But we can add an unlimited number of users. So if the commissioners wish to have a sign-in ID, they can have sign-in ID at no additional fee.
What about gigabyte time use if that's involved?
It's all on our servers that we have here locally. So I'm prepared to offer that stuff up with zero equipment cost. We already have the equipment in place, so there'll be zero equipment cost. This will only be a software. basically.
That's more of a commissioner's question, but
Sure.
as legal counsel, I need to
Absolutely.
know, because I don't want us to get into a situation where that I've got to try to somehow reverse what
Sure.
they've agreed to, or what you told us about. I'm sorry.
No problems.
Does this system have the capability of performing same tasks that Rex is doing now as far as fuel management goes?
It actually can. Those are some existing modules that are in with the base package. So if we choose to roll our fuel management into this, it's all integrated. So we'll have zero expense with that. It'll just integrate in with it, and that'll be something that we just roll into or we do not roll into based on what we would like to do.
For the same cost?
Yes, no additional cost.
Deal.
Any other questions? Well, if not, then you gentlemen don't have any other questions. Do I hear a motion to accept that proposal?
Motion to accept.
Your second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Let the record so stated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Crowe. Next item is Sheriff's Office personnel. Mr. Langley.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning.
We've got quite a few on here. I don't know how you want them to do, but I've got a couple of resignations I'd like to tell you about.
Let's do the resignations and then the others, okay?
Yes, sir. Except the resignation of Craig White. He was a SRO. His last day was actually May 30th or 31st, but it was between meetings, so we didn't get to let you know that. So we'd like for you guys to accept that resignation.
Go ahead with your others.
The other one is, I've lost my train of thought here.
Carissa Butler.
Yes, Carissa Butler. She was a full-time corrections officer. She was on a transport team. Her last day will be the 17th, or the 16th, rather.
Is that the only two resignations there?
Those are the only two written notices that we got. We have a couple others that have walked off shift or not returned to work, and okay, I'm sorry, we do have one other notice of leaving, and that was Clay Monroe. He's actually going to work till the end of the month. I'm not sure if I sent that over to Matt already. I think I may have.
I think I got that maybe this morning or yesterday.
Well, that Contreras also, he was one that just walked off, is that it?
He was a part-timer, and all of our part-time folks go to school, and it's hard to get them to, when they're going to school, to pull them away from that, or if they've got classes at night, we can't hardly use them at night. But anyway, we'd put him on the schedule, he just wouldn't return or wouldn't call, and we hadn't heard anything out of him in several weeks. I've actually been to his house and left notes and cards for him, and he hasn't called me back. So I think he's decided he wanted to go do something else.
It appears that.
Yeah.
All right, you hear Mr. Langley's recommendation to accept these resignations and take whatever other action that feels necessary. Is any question about that? If not, if
I move we accept the recommendations.
thank you. Your second? Second. Motion second. In discussion? Any in favor, let it know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, Mr. Langley. Go ahead now with the.
Yes, sir. We have 4 folks there that we would like to put to work over on the jail side, and these are vacant positions. We would like to recommend that we hire Adam Jackson full-time to replace Chastity Goza.
Okay. Gentlemen, you've looked over these. Any questions concerning that? If not, go ahead, Mr. Langley.
Okay. Crimson Long, full-time to replace Butler.
Any questions concerning that recommendation?
Okay. Demetrius Green, part-time to replace Anna Gonzalez, who we moved to full-time meeting before last. It'd be part-time.
Any question on that? Any question concerning that? Okay, go ahead.
And Leah Hitchcock to replace Humberto Contreras. Part-time.
Does that complete you?
Yes, sir, that's all four.
Okay. Now, is there any question concerning about any of these recommendations?
What about this David Stanley?
That's something we will discuss at a later meeting, or
Now, on these that we've got, we're hiring, are they part-time people? Like Melody Kuykendall and?
She's
that one there took another job. We were going to try to recommend her for a job, but she needed to get to work quicker than we could get her to work, and for now, she took another job.
Does that complete your list?
Yes, sir, it does.
Gentlemen, do y'all see anything else on that you need to question? Heath,
We got
it's a different time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other?
That's it on personnel.
Okay.
And Melissa, she wanted to talk to you about,
Let's move this personnel first. if you don't
we accept the recommendations as far as hiring individuals to replace those that have left.
Second.
Motion second. In discussion, as many as favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Now, Melissa.
We'd just like to get approved for, to be billed through Network Fleet for some tracking devices for our transport vehicles, and there'll be one used for patrol just as needed or if needed. And we already have 4 tracking devices, or have had them, but they've been billed through Verizon. And it was just an extra phone number on our Verizon bill, but that equipment is out of date and no longer available. So to upgrade, we have to upgrade to this new system. And it will be a one-time fee of $200 for the equipment. That's for all 4 devices. And then it'll be $13.50 a month billed from Network Fleet.
How many here the recommendation? Any question concerning that?
You haven't anticipated any additional vehicles being placed, having tracking devices placed on them in the future?
Not at the moment, but, I mean, it would be nice if we could, but at the moment,
Under your special fund?
right, yes, and yes, this will be paid for out of special jail.
Thank you, Mr. Kuykendall. Any other question? If there is no other question, do I hear a motion to accept the recommendation?
Motion to accept.
Hear a second?
Second.
Motion second. In discussion, many in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I believe that's all in the sheriff's office. Next item is Revenue Commission personnel. Mr. Sharp.
Mr. Wilkes had sent me over a recommendation. He had, Ben Womack had resigned maybe a couple months ago or so, and he wanted to debate about posting that position. Since that time, he's determined that he does want to go ahead and post that position. And I think that would be someone that he wants, someone who's worked at Rhinesville and is bilingual. So he has requested that we go ahead and post that position.
This is just posting the position.
Correct, yeah.
Any question concerning Mr. Sharp's recommendation that we post this position in the Revenue Commission office? If not, do I hear a motion to honor Mr. Sharp's request?
So moved.
Hear a second?
Second.
Motion second in discussion. Many in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, state your objection. That concludes our brief agenda for today. We appreciate all of you that are here today. We thank you for your participation and cooperation. Gentlemen, we thank you for all your cooperation and due diligence today. Our next meeting will be June 27th here in the chambers. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Any without objection, so ordered. Thank you.